pretty angry with all of us for keeping it from him.
Oh, that'd be Ida Stevens. She doesn't mean any harm.
Look, I'll phone Woodridge and find out when we can see him.
Why don't you have a seat?
Oh, thank you, Tia.
Would you like me to get you coffee?
No, thanks. You know, I wish Andy had met Paddy before he got into this trouble. Such a lovely, thoughtful girl.
She certainly is.
What with his dad being sick and all, we really need him home. He's not a bad boy, really. If only he could be released from that dreadful place.
Andy's been beaten up. He's in the hospital.
Oh, dear Lord, no.
I think we'd better get over there straight away.
Now remember, no matter what they ask, you don't know anything about the fire, okay?
Yeah, but
Supposing nothing. The cops can't prove a thing as long as we stick to our story, and anyone who opens their mouth will get sewn into one of those lousy mailbags and dropped into the bay.
Yeah, well, don't worry, Bea. I'll just pretend I'm Mutt and Jeff.
God, these bloody needles are not strong enough.
Oh, it's a stinking job anyway, Lizzie.
Yeah, well, serves you right for getting caught. You should have more sense.
Oh, fair go. There were 20 or 30 cops after me.
Never.
Oh, yeah, it's true. Took that many to bring me in. Flattened about 10 of them.
Oh, you're a rotten little horror.
Gaffney, you're next. Then you, Latham. Lizzie, you've got a visitor. I'll be back to get you soon.
I'll hang on to this. You, may be needing it.
This is Gaffney.
Ah, hello, Gaffney. Sit down. I'm Detective Sergeant Farmer.
You're wasting your time. I don't know nothing about it. I was in the loo when it started.
Oh, and I suppose you don't know nothing about where it started either?
Well, I wasn't in the loo, that's for sure.
And what happened when you left the loo?
I seen Mrs. Morris taking some of the other women out, so I joined them. Yes, Gaffney was with us when we left the building.
Oh, well, there you are then. You don't like Officer Ferguson, do you, Gaffney?
Who does?
No one, apparently, with good reason, I suppose. Is that why you joined in the plot to attack her?
Plot? What plot?
Oh, then you don't know about the plot.
That's right.
Ah. And you don't know where the fire started?
That's right.
Right.
Unless...
Yes.
Unless a girl guard went berserk with a couple of twigs.
That's very good, Gaffney. All right, thank you. You can take her back now.
Ah, Mrs. Pearl. Hope you got good reason for dragging me all the way up here. Department's up to its neck in this damn fire business, you know.
Yes, well, I'm afraid I'm going to make matters worse. I suppose I better come straight to the point.
Yes, I suppose you'd better.
The fire. The police think it started when some Terps exploded in the storeroom.
Yes?
I put the Terps in there.
You realise what you're saying, woman? Do you know what your negligence could do to the department?
If there's anything I can do to...
No, just a minute, just a minute. There must be some way out of this. Are the police sure that's where the fire started?
Well, they're waiting on the forensic reports to confirm it. I don't see what difference it'll make. Certainly won't bring back Trap and Fields.
It'll make all the difference in the world. If it can be proved that the women themselves were at fault, then the department will have no...
Department? My God, it's always the bloody department. 2 women are dead. You couldn't care less as long as the department gets off the hook.
Don't put that little outburst down to your overwrought condition, Mrs. Pearl. The department must be cleared of all blame. If we can clear the deputy governor at the same time, so much the better. If not, we would have to regretfully accept your resignation.
Well, you wouldn't believe how many strings I had to pull to get in here. Didn't want you to think I forgot you, though.
Oh, of course not. I know we're old mates. Anyway, I knew they wouldn't let you in the hospital.
No, well, it wasn't for lack of trying. I think short of breaking my own leg, I would have never got past those watchdogs at the desk.
Well, I went as often as I could. Lizzie knew you all thinking about it.
Yeah, Mrs. N, she came very often. Anyway, I was so crook, I wouldn't even have known if Florence Nightingale had been there.
Well, you look fine now, love. I suppose Bees filled you in on the fire. It was terrible, wasn't it?
Yeah. Poor little mouse. And Barbie. If they hadn't gone to
Lizzie.
Davy's off... Sorry, Mrs. N.
How's everything at the halfway house?
Oh, okay, I guess. We've had a few hassles. I'm getting to be really great in a crisis. Pity about Maxine, though.
Yes, I was very disappointed to see her back.
She got back in here just in time for the baby.
What baby?
Stanton had a baby boy last night.
Are you kidding? I guess that's the first baby ever born in a men's prison, huh?
Well, both mother and son are doing very well in the hospital now.
Speaking of babies, guess who's going to be a grandma?
Your Laurie's pregnant. Oh, what do you know?
Fool, how long?
Oh, pretty soon, I think.
Oh, soon? Well, why didn't you tell us before?
Well, I didn't know. I mean, it just came out of the blue.
Oh, from memory, that's not how it usually happens.
Don't be silly. I mean, I just found out. I think Laurie was trying to have a baby for a long time. You know, she had a miscarriage last year. But I probably didn't want to tell anybody until they were really sure, you know.
She's all right now.
Yeah, Jeff says she's positively glowing. And they're past the danger stage, so it should be just plain sailing.
Oh, wait till I tell B. Just imagine our Jude and Grandma.
I guess I'll have to hand out cigars on the big day, huh? I'll tell you one thing, though. I wasn't much good to Laurie when she was a kid. I'm gonna make it up to this one.
This is Detective Sergeant Farmer, Mr. Douglas.
Farmer, it's a pleasure meeting you.
Oh, how do you do, Mr. Douglas?
Yes, this damn fire business must be having you chaps on the hop, eh?
Well, we have made a breakthrough.
Oh, yes, the Terps. Most regrettable.
I'm afraid that Mrs. Powell has confessed that she was involved, sir.
Oh, confessed? Oh, come now, Sergeant. It's a little too strong for such a little, well, indiscretion.
I hardly think I described 2 deaths as a little indiscretion.
Yes, but involving Mrs. Powell, I mean, it won't change the outcome, will it?
Mr. Douglas, please.
Mrs. Powell is a fine, fine officer. I can see no good purpose in smearing her good name. Now, wouldn't you agree?
Mr. Douglas, are you suggesting that I suppress evidence?
Oh, suppress evidence? Good Lord, no. No, but I'm sure the minister would accept my recommendations for your, shall we say, advancement within the force.
Mr. Douglas, we're talking about manslaughter.
We're talking about the department's good name, Sergeant, and 2 careers, yours and Mrs. Powell's.
Is that a threat, sir?
Oh, I didn't quite see it that way, no.
Sergeant Farmer, it's for you.
Oh, thank you. Excuse me, Mr. Douglas. Hello, Farmer speaking.
Perhaps I should just resign.
And leave us under a cloud? No. No, I'm sure Farmer will listen to reason. If not, I'm sure he has superiors who can be persuaded to see our point of view.
Right, thank you. Well, according to the forensic report, the fire was started by a fire bomb, not an electrical fault.
Then it wasn't the Terps.
Not directly, no. It doesn't alter the fact that it should never have been stored there, but under the circumstances, we can't hold you solely at fault.
Well, Farmer, I'm glad you see it my way.
This has nothing to do with your way, Mr. Douglas. I deal in facts. Fact 1, the fire was deliberately lit. Fact 2, somebody is guilty of murder.
Ah, first customer of the day.
I'm afraid not. Inspector Nichols of the Health Department.
The health department? Well, I'm sorry, Mr. Nichols, but you're a couple of weeks too late. Your boys checked this place over with a fine-tooth comb before we got our permit.
Yes, I have that on record, but in fact, a complaint has been laid.
A complaint? You're kidding. I mean, who by?
Well, I can't name names, of course, but I will have to check out the whole building.
Oh, all right, help yourself, but you're wasting your time.
Thank you.
Trouble?
No. Just the council's way of using up all of their energy so they don't strangle themselves in red tape.
I'll check that, please. Thank you.
Hi, Eddie.
You shouldn't have come here. I didn't want anyone to see me looking like this.
I had to see you, dear, to explain about your dad.
You should have told me, Mum.
I didn't want to worry you, love.
Seems all right. You can give it to him.
It's a jumper, love.